Good evening, I'm Matt Woodman. This is CTV News at 5. Tonight, Alberta reports its first measles-related death, a newborn baby. Airport arrest. Police find a man wanted for more than a year in a series of drive-by shootings. And a peek at the park. We take you inside Horlac to see all the latest improvements.
CTV Edmonton, local breaking news with Matt Woodman.
Alberta has recorded its first measles-related death this year. The Primary and Preventative Health Services Minister says the child was born prematurely after the mother contracted measles. The child died shortly after birth. Minister Adriana Lagrange's statement did not clarify how the child died or in which part of the province. Her statement says measles during pregnancy can lead to serious complications, including miscarriage, preterm labor, and stillbirth. The province's website shows a little more than 1,900 cases reported since January, with 152 hospitalizations. Health experts have been warning people about the seriousness of this outbreak for months, saying low vaccination rates are putting more pressure on hospitals.
We don't know whether the individual involved could have been vaccinated or for other medical reasons may not have been able to be vaccinated. But we know that if numbers are high enough in the community as a whole, we can garner herd protection. So, this is the textbook disease where we need to be proactive. We need to be preventative.
Nearly 90% of Alberta's measles cases have been in unvaccinated patients. The province is also encouraging anyone born in 1970 or later to ensure they have 2 doses of the vaccine. A man wanted on a Canada-wide warrant in connection with extortion cases in Edmonton has been arrested at our airport. Arjun Sanan is accused of committing drive-by shootings in Edmonton, Sherwood Park, and Winnipeg in 2023. No one was hurt. Last year, a Canada-wide warrant was issued for the 21-year-old. Police say he was arrested last month at the airport, flying in from India. Police say the alleged ringleader of Project Gaslight, Mahinder Dawal, is believed to be in the United Arab Emirates.
We are working with our federal government in trying to negotiate his extradition back to our country to be able to answer to those charges. The challenge right now is there is no extradition treaty in place with the United Arab Emirates, so it just makes the negotiations just a little more complex and time-consuming as a result.
To date, 6 individuals have been identified in connection to Project Gaslight. Police are once again urging the South Asian community to report any extortion attempts. An Alberta Health Union is considering job action.
HSA is strike ready.
Healthcare workers rallied at the Royal Alexandra Hospital today, calling for a better deal from the province. Last month, members of the Health Sciences Association of Alberta rejected a tentative agreement with Alberta Health Services. The deal included a 12% general wage increase over 4 years. While a strike vote has not been called, the union says it is preparing for one.
We have not seen an action like this in the history of this union. So somebody has done something to upset these members, and they're here to put their voice out loud and clear. Not good enough was that deal? Get back to the table, or we're going to move to the next steps.
Following September's vote, Alberta's finance minister said the province was ready to return to the bargaining table. With just days to go until a possible teacher strike, many parents are looking for ways to keep their kids busy and taken care of. CTV's Miriam Valdez-Carletti provides some ideas.
If teachers strike next week, the TELUS World of Science wants to bring the classroom to students.
We know it's a stressful time for families, so we want to do what we can to offer some camps during this time, and so we are going to start with a couple of camps per week.
It's planning to host day camps for students between grades 1 and 5, costing $80 per day. There's something for everyone to learn.
There will be some chemistry, some engineering, some coding, some robotics, a little bit of everything.
The Science Center says some some dates are already full. Other day camps are being offered by the City of Edmonton at the John Walter Museum, Fort Edmonton Park, the Edmonton Valley Zoo, and the Matart Conservatory.
We're not looking to replace teachers and the curriculum. We're just trying to ensure that staff are able to share their knowledge and their love of their facilities.
Prices vary, and low-income families can use the city's leisure access program to help cut costs. Laser City is also preparing for the possibility of day camps.
We had our customers calling us and being like, hey, are you guys going to be doing these? I don't know what I'm doing with my kids. I have to go to work.
Its camps are $75 per day and include lunch, snacks, and drinks. Owner Rob Davey says the strike is an interesting dynamic for his business.
We don't want there to be a strike, right? We'd love that, everything kind of comes together and we don't have to do these, and we're ready for that to happen.
The City of Edmonton, TELUS World of Science, and Laser City say the camps would continue for as long as necessary. Miriam Valdez-Carletti, CTV News, Edmonton.
First Nations from coastal BC are expressing their frustration with a new pipeline proposal by the Alberta government. The province wants to jumpstart the project with taxpayer money and help from 3 Canadian energy companies. First Nations leaders along potential routes say they're against any new pipeline, calling the idea a non-starter. Many chiefs believe the environmental impact is not worth the economic gain, and some hope laws like the tanker ban are never repealed.
So-called consultation declaration on the part of Premier Smith is bogus. Our groups are already beginning to mobilize for the battle coming. My message to her is go home, stay home, forget about it. Not going to happen.
The province says it spoke with Indigenous leaders in BC and Alberta earlier this week, and there was more support than it anticipated. The province insists the pipeline can be developed responsibly. One energy expert says even if the federal government approves a new pipeline as early as November, completing it will be a long process. Richard Masson says the province's $14 million may not even be enough to cover the front-end work required to put together a regulatory application. That includes picking a route, working with Indigenous stakeholders, impact benefit agreements, and more. He says even that process will take up to 3 years.
Then the feds are talking about a 2-year approval process after that. Then the construction period will be 3-4 years. So it's a long time. This is not a quick fix to any problem. It is something that's going to take, determined effort.
He says getting to that point would also require major commitments from energy companies, which have been so far reluctant to invest in new pipelines. 2 Canadian steel companies have signed on to a project that would connect Edmonton and Calgary. Algoma Steel and Supreme Steel Partner are joining TransPod to build an ultra-high-speed rail line between the two cities. They will provide between 1.5 and 2 million tons of steel for the project. TransPod says this partnership will help diversify Canada's steel market and make it less reliant on the United States.
There's more interest now to really fully develop Canadians' potential and making sure that, Canada will lead in key sectors like transportations moving forward.
TransPod is waiting for the province's approval to build a test track from downtown Edmonton to the airport. It expects to hear back by the end of the year. The full project is expected to create up to 140,000 jobs. In about 2.5 weeks, Edmontonians will vote for a new mayor and city council. We may not find out, though, who won until the next day. The provincial government banned electronic vote tabulators last spring. Elections Edmonton says ballot counting will start at the 220 voting stations after they have closed at 8 o'clock. There will also be a count center for all advanced votes, special ballots, and votes from institutions like hospitals and seniors' homes. That will also begin shortly after the polls close. Elections Edmonton says it anticipates some preliminary results will be available election night. Officials, though, say they don't expect full preliminary results until the next day. The people vying to be Edmonton's next mayor all agree they want to keep life affordable for Edmontonians. They have different ideas, though, on how to do that. City Hall reporter Jeremy Thompson spoke with the 5 most popular candidates as ranked by the Chamber of Commerce. Michael Walters, Raheem Jaffer, Omar Mohammed, Tim Cartmel, and Andrew Knack are all pitching ideas to get the city better value for its tax dollar. They range from the city refocusing on core services to avoiding surprise tax increases. You can see how these plans stack up against one another in part 1 of our Edmonton election series. That begins tonight on CTV News at 6. Well, Josh, one more warm day out there, and then it's going to start to feel more like October.
Yeah, temperatures back to average. Big cool down on the way for the weekend. In fact, you got to go all the way back to May to find the last time that we had back-to-back days cooler than 15 for daytime highs. That's what's coming Saturday, Sunday. It was close to 20 today, 19 right now in downtown Edmonton, and that is our daytime high. 17s and 18s outside the city. Wind fairly light out of the southwest, about 5 to 10 kilometers per hour. Average high is 13, so 6 degrees above average, although it was a cool start to the day at 4 degrees. You had some rain last night in the evening, overnight and into early this morning, some showers, and even just south of the city, some thunderstorms. And then as temperatures cooled, with all that moisture loaded into the lower levels of the atmosphere, look at this shot from the drone early this morning. Spectacular, really thick, soupy fog around the Edmonton area. That burned off fairly quickly, and this is what it looks like from the lens of the drone this afternoon. Sunshine was out for most of the day. We do have some clouds, though, off to the west of the city, and I think we'll see at least a few clouds slide through overnight tonight. Those should be out of here by tomorrow morning, though. There's your thicker cloud cover to the west and across southern parts of the province. There are a couple spots of scattered showers, but I don't think we'll see a repeat of last night. I don't think we'll get any rain tonight, just a few clouds. 4 degrees tomorrow morning, so another crisp start to the day. Some increase in cloud as the day goes on. We'll get to about 18 or 19 for a high in the afternoon, and then around supper time, a chance of showers. And that's the cold front that will usher in the cool down for the weekend. More on that in just a few minutes.
All right, Josh, thank you. Coming up next on CTV News, a walk in the park. We'll show you the upgrades being made to Horlac.
Coming up on your morning, Life of a Showgirl is out Friday. A wildest dream come true for Taylor Swift fans. A local music expert's take on why people love her. Plus, a neuroscientist's take on why we love the fall. See you at 6.
Your Morning Edmonton, weekdays.
Brought to you by James H. Brown Injury Lawyers, the heavy hitters of injury law.
You're watching CTV News at 5.
A popular park in Edmonton is almost ready to reopen nearly 3 years after it closed for major renovations. CTV's Gates Warren takes us on a tour of Horlac Park to show us the latest improvements.
Best free attraction in the middle of Edmonton.
The finishing touches are being put on Horlac Park. Sod and grass are getting laid, the final stage of electrical work is almost done, and brick by brick, pathways are nearly complete. The morning fog blanketing the park, eventually lifting to reveal the work being done to give the area a modern facelift.
In order to make sure that we address all the scopes of work that we anticipate around accessibility and safety and rehabbing the facilities and the infrastructure, we really had to focus that into the 3 years.
Most of the buildings have been around since the park originally opened in 1967. The upgrades now combine the old with the new.
The other real focus was in the washroom areas, adding accessible stalls and gender-inclusive stalls in those areas.
Accessibility was a focal point for the city. It added shared pathways to separate cars from bikes and pedestrians, and leading to areas where many gather, like the amphitheater.
We've added a ramp up to the stage, accessible ramp, as well as an accessible ramp down underneath the stage into the green room.
One of the biggest improvements that the city has added to the park is this new lakefront path and the seating area. Now, it gives people a better experience right up close to the lake, and while you still can't swim in it, the geese are definitely still having a great time.
The work cost $134.5 million. The city says this project was necessary and felt an all-in approach over 3 years instead of closing parts of the park over a decade was the right move.
When it's closed down for 3 years, it is a long time, and I know a lot of families do gather here. There's a lot of events and programs that were here, and we're really excited to bring back that.
The end of the project is now in sight. One of Edmonton's most beloved parks is scheduled to open on time this coming winter. Gates Warren, CTV News, Edmonton.
The Oilers' preseason is nearly over. One game remains before the regular season begins next week. Most of the main roster did not play in Seattle last night. Goalie Calvin Pickard played the entire game in net. The Oilers wrap up their preseason tomorrow night in Vancouver after last night's 4-2 loss. Their regular season begins next Wednesday against the Calgary Flames. Amazon is hiring for more than 550 seasonal jobs in Edmonton ahead of the holidays. It's part of the company's plan to hire 7,000 seasonal employees across the country. Positions will be open in Amazon's fulfillment centers, sorting centers, and delivery stations. Amazon is also increasing its average wage by $1 to $24.50 an hour. Still to come tonight on CTV News, cooking contestant, a local woman competing on this season of MasterChef Canada.
I just never imagined that I would be competing on MasterChef.
Programming brought to you by James H. Brown Injury Lawyers, the heavy hitters of injury law.
And Edmonton will compete in the new season of MasterChef Canada starting tonight. Veronica McRae is the founder of The Good Place, an Edmonton organization dedicated to strengthening the Indigenous community and empowering others in their healing journey.
As an Indigenous woman, I wanted to bring representation to television in the culinary world and advocate for food security and hopefully be a positive role model for Indigenous youth of Canada.
Welcome to
The first episode of MasterChef Canada Season 8 airs tonight at 8 o'clock right here on CTV. There's a reason I could never be a contestant on that show, Josh. I present to you a piping hot pizza pop on a plate cooked in a microwave. That would be the extent of it.
A pizza pop once in a while.
Yeah, maybe I'd be a winner.
Yeah, nothing wrong. You know what you do is you call that a calzone.
Free package calzone. Not exactly piping hot temperatures out there, but still a little warmer than average.
Yeah, close to 20 today. Watch this roller coaster here. We'll be in the high teens, close to 20 again tomorrow. Cools off in a big way for the weekend and Monday, but no worse than average. Another little warm-up there for next week. We're back in the mid to high teens, it looks like, for most of next week, and that this is when it really is going to start to settle in. Right around the Thanksgiving long weekend, daytime highs will be a lot closer to 10. Maybe even some single-digit daytime highs. River Valley Sky Camps brought to you by Action Furnace. Fixed right or it's free. 19 degrees right now under blue skies. 15 off to the west and northwest. In Jasper and Grand Prairie, it's 13 in Fort McMurray. This is actually a handful of degrees warmer than it was at this point yesterday across the northeast. 17 in Red Deer. There's your cloud cover across the south, a little bit of patchy cloud in the northeast, and here's what we're watching in the Edmonton area. Some broken clouds getting set to push through later on this evening. There's also a couple scattered showers, but it really looks like that's going to fall apart. I don't think we'll see a repeat of what we had last night with the showers and then early this morning, some thunderstorms. I think skies should be just partly cloudy overnight and then some sunshine to start the day tomorrow. Watch the cloud cover roll in from the northwest. There's your cold front. Behind that, big cool down as we showed you for the weekend. And along the cold front, you probably see the winds start to gust a little bit around supper time into the early evening hours. And best chance for showers is going to be early evening, although even overnight there might be a couple scattered showers that go through. Watch Saturday. Showers potentially turning over to some wet snow in the Grand Prairie area through the course of the day Saturday. Certainly snow through western parts of the province, foothills, in through the mountain parks. I think Red Deer, it's just rain. Calgary is going to be on the edge. Saturday night, Sunday morning, there might be a little bit of wet snow in the Calgary region. 4 degrees here in Edmonton tomorrow morning. It'll be closer to the freezing mark, though, in Red Deer. 5 to 7 for northeastern Alberta and bouncing back into the high teens by tomorrow. Low teens for Grand Prairie and Peace River. And as you move further south, daytime highs close to 20, Lloydminster, Coronation, and mid to upper teens in Red Deer. Here in the city, around 10 degrees between 9 p.m. and midnight. We'll drop to around 4. That's where we were this morning, and we'll see a similar start tomorrow. 15 by lunchtime, high of about 18 or 19 tomorrow afternoon, and then that chance of showers late in the day. Saturday evening, a slight risk of a shower. For most of Saturday, though, looking at a mix of sun and cloud. Highs of 12 for Saturday, Sunday. -1 Sunday morning in the city. Outside the city could be in the -4, -5 range. And we'll be close to the freezing mark again Monday, Tuesday of next week. But as we mentioned, there is that nice warm-up for Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday as we're back into the mid to upper teens after a cool down this weekend.
All right, Josh, thank you. A new community library is helping families in Red Deer access free books. Bauer Place Community Association Gardens has installed a little free library. People can take a book or leave a book. It's the second library of its kind for the community. The first one burned down. The new little library honors one of the original volunteers, Myron Chillibeck.
When there was something that I was working on, needed to have done, or was working on trying to get the community together for information sessions, I could always rely on Myron. And he was just there whenever you needed him, whenever you needed something to have done. Myron was there. He was the person.
The organization hopes by offering free books, it will help kids develop a love of reading. When we return, dinner deals, dining discounts to get customers back to a construction-riddled part of Edmonton.
CTV News at 5 continues.
Coming up on CTV News at 6, local rescue group Wild North says it's seeing a surge in calls throughout the city about suspected cases of bird flu. Also ahead, details of a problem at Canada Border Service Agency kiosks at airports across the country, and a new report on affordability shows when it comes to Alberta, it's a tale of two cities. One is becoming out of reach while the other is keeping prices in check. Those stories and more on CTV News at 6 with Jeff Hastings. Stony Plain Road Dining Week is back for its second year. It was created as a way for businesses to gain some exposure as LRT construction continues. CTV's Merrick Takash has more.
Construction on the LRT Valley Line has taken over Stony Plain Road, and to some, it seems like there's no end in sight.
All the lights are completely switched, and they're constantly blocking traffic.
It's been frustrating and bad for some businesses, including the owners of CH Cafeteria on 148th Street.
I don't know, 3-4 years, and nobody noticed that it's really advanced.
Stony Plain Road Dining Week is now underway, an attempt to bring back missing restaurant customers.
And we just wanted to do something that promotes them and the area, having had so much construction and change in this area for the last couple of years.
El Corazon restaurant says it has lost 60% of its customer base because of construction.
It's just hard to get here, right? It's hard to get here, and they're stuck in traffic. They're stuck idling. What used to be a 5-10 minute drive is now turned into a 35-40 minute drive for our customers.
Pho Number One says they have seen a huge drop in customers.
I cannot believe it. This month, and we open, but just about 30% customer or 20% customer come in.
The goal is to attract as much attention to businesses in the area as possible over the next 10 days.
It's been a challenge, right? I mean, it's going on to 2.5 years of this right now. So, we're luckily as a resilient group of business owners around here.
Dining Week wraps up Sunday, October 12th. Construction is scheduled to continue until 2028. Merrick Takash, CTV News, Edmonton.
And that's our show. Thanks for watching. I'm Matt Woodman. CTV News continues right now.